didn't like plot to have a career based off of this. She had a viral moment because she said something edgy and she's beautiful. And so the next thing is a right-wing company is going to approach and be like, would you like the sponsorship so you can sell our beer? Or,
we like conservative dads ultra right beer.
Right?
Yeah, and I like women in bikinis. I mean,
I have no problem with it. The driving force of society is women, not men.
Well, what was it? Women were approved for credit cards later than men.
No, what you do is you say these words.
That's the
You
way it
ready?
should be.
Is that how
I'm
it should be,
busy.
that
Yes, we
women
talked
shouldn't
about
Shut
that last
up.
time I was here.
That's what you
gotta
say.
Be careful, Alex.
Honey,
You're
I
gonna
need you to
start
bend-
We're gonna have to start calling you simp on a blimp.
I am simp. I never heard that. I get accused of being a simp all the time. I am a simp.
Simp
I'm
on
a
a
woman
blimp.
lover. I guess I grew up, and I don't know. I'm a little bit of a simp. I agree.
Do you know why women didn't have credit cards and bank accounts until the 70s? Do you know why? Do you think
I don't know.
Because most people assume just the patriarchy wanted to, be mean to the women and control them.
I don't know why.
So the reason why is because women couldn't legally be held liable for family debts or for racking up, credit charges or something. So everything
Really?
only men could legally be held liable
that's funny,
for the
Russell.
needs of the
But you could
family.
buy a house before. Women could buy houses before 1970.
Yeah, they could, but as far as like providing for the family and things like that, so there's this suffrage poster I always post to social media from New York from like 1912 or something, where it showed privileges for women under suffrage, and it said that in the state of New York, prior to suffrage, only men could be held liable for debt in a marriage. And even if the woman came in with money, so say you were an heiress and you married like a middle class guy, even if that was the case, you came in with your own money, it was still considered your money. And so if you owed money, so say you opened a credit account at Bloomingdale's in New York, and the wife ran up charges at Bloomingdale's, she couldn't be held liable for the debt, only the husband could. So that's the reason they didn't have it in their name, but they were usually authorized users on all their husbands' accounts.
I think it's simple. I think it should be, we need to pass a law that says what we're going to do is the federal government is going to deploy individuals into the hearts of every major voting jurisdiction, and they're going to ask people if they support women's suffrage. We'll have a referendum on it. And if the answer is no, we do away with it, right? That's democracy, right? But here's the funny thing. I guarantee you, if you went door to door and said, would you support ending women's suffrage, you're going to get 65% yes.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because they think it means suffering.
Suffering.
Yeah. They don't know what it means. My point is, and so I'm not saying everyone's going to be like, yes, no voting for women. They're going to be like, women are suffering? We should get rid of that.
Yeah.
Because people have already done this. Mm-hmm. They go to Times Square and they're like, would you help us end women's suffrage? And they go, oh, wow, yeah, sure.
Uh-huh.
Yep. And if that's what they think it is, they shouldn't be voting.
I agree.
Well, they go to Times Square and ask them like the simplest questions, like where's Texas on a map, and they don't know.
My favorite is name a country that starts with the letter U. And people are like, Utah? Like, okay, look, those are edited because 90% of people are going to be like, the USA? What's the question? Like,
when my kids don't want to do their homeschool work, I make them watch the video of Miss North Carolina trying to answer the question about maps. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, what was that one?
Oh, it's the pretty blonde Miss America girl. If you
Leave my fictitious black ex-wife alone.
There's a lot of
Stop it.
I show them that, and I'm like, if you don't want to be this, you better. Yeah, there you go.
Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries, so we will be able to build up our future.
Sounds like Joe Biden.
That's what I mean. They're editing that clip into Joe Biden's spot on the debate. Yeah, that meme's going around like crazy.
So yeah, when my kids don't want to do their schoolwork, I'm like, do you want to sound like that?
Well, I guess I am a simp.
Such as,
like I loved every bit of that she didn't know. Like I thought that
Simp on
makes
a
me
blimp.
like her.
Well, that's
She's
the thing.
attractive. She's not too smart, so she's probably easy to deal with. I mean,
No, it's the
that's
other way
like the
around
perfect woman.
Like, so
Crazy hot matrix still is a thing.
There was I think it was OkCupid data from like 20 years ago. No, it wasn't OkCupid. This was might have been Science of Sex. They showed pictures of women to men, and this one's gonna piss you guys off. Do you know what age men consistently rated the highest without knowing the age? Just looking at a picture of a female. What age scored the highest in sexual attractiveness every time?
It's pretty low.
20, 20,
Like
21.
16, 17,
Is 14.
14.
Oh, wow.
And then when they added in information on the person, it jumped to 22.
Right.
But not like bios. It was like questionnaires. And the research found that men, so like this is the important thing. The average guy thinks teenage girls are the most attractive, and people don't know this, but for a long time, the models you'd see, like you go to the mall and you see like the lingerie store, and there's like a woman with her like bra strap coming down. She's 15.
Yes.
15 years old.
Yeah,
now,
American
a lot
Apparel.
of the models are
Yep.
still like
Really.
under
15,
18.
16. And but something interesting happens when you ask questions. Guys don't. The reason why it goes up to 22 on average is because teenagers are incapable of supporting a family. So men want they want predominantly good genetics, which is seen through symmetry in the body. But if the man finds out
weren't thinking
the woman
about
is really
girls when you were
stupid,
14?
her attractiveness
Really?
drops way down. It really is true. Now there are
Really?
probably a bunch of guys that are like, don't know, don't care because I get free sex.
Fuck,
If the
that's
thought
all I
process
thought
for a lot
about
of these guys
when I was
is I have
14.
zero responsibility, then they're going to be all over South Carolina.
I didn't think
But
about
if
anything
you-
else
if you were talking
when
to
I
a
was
guy,
14, 15,
you have a
16.
kid, it's your responsibility.
That's literally
Like,
all I
not
ever
with
thought
her.
about.
Are you nuts? I'm gonna ask her where she put the milk, and it's going to be in the cabinet under the sink. And what are you doing?
Right.
Can't live that way.
Yeah, my husband actually said that one of the things he likes best about me is that if he has to go somewhere, if he's busy, because he's very work focused and he's like a total workaholic. But he's like, look, you're very competent and I don't worry. Like I don't worry about, having to be focused on work because I know that you can handle everything and you've got it down. So I think that's a big draw. I think it's really helpful, but we're training women to be competent at all the wrong things. So like so we wanted to talk about the e-girls today, didn't we? The right-wing e-girls and this phenomenon of like
The paradox.
yeah, the paradox of having a girl in a bikini selling coffee or beer or being on a calendar.
Lilly
Those were the
just
big.
did that. Are you making fun of Lilly now?
No, but Lilly didn't like pre-plan this either, right?
But-
She didn't like plot to have a career based off of this. She had a viral moment because she said something edgy and she's beautiful. And so the next thing is a right-wing company is going to approach and be like, would you like the sponsorship so you can sell our beer or
We like conservative
or
dads
coffee,
ultra right beer.
right?
Yeah, and
So-
I like women in bikinis. I mean,
I have no problem with that.
I think that that's fine. But what we shouldn't do is take those women, and I got into some trouble at the beginning of the year with a certain person who was baking a cake about this too, right? We shouldn't take those women, push them to the front, and make them like the political mouthpieces for the right wing. Because if you were to be like, hey, what's the Fourth Amendment? They're going to be like, I don't.
Yeah, but
It's-
I want to combat this. I hate that because they always accuse me of that. You're bringing up Josie. Like, Josie's not the main representative.
She was baking a pie.
I know, or whatever. I mean, I'm just saying anybody. One conservative woman, they say Lilly. She's not the face of conservatism. I mean, why do they make because somebody has a
Conservatives don't even like me.
yeah, I know,
What
but
are
I
we
know.
talking about?
I'm just
Good.
saying, Rachel's like one person because they're popular in that sphere. Now they're the face of an entire
But I
movement.
mean, like,
That's
wasn't it a patriotic beer company that?
Conservative dads ultra right.
yes, of
Right,
course.
right.
But
They-
she
we got
doesn't
some downstairs.
represent. She
Yeah.
doesn't represent the entire party. Is what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, it's fine to have a girl be a model. We know that models sell products.
Yes.
Hot girls sell products. That's fine. I'm not against that. I'm not jealous of beautiful women or any of that stuff. I'm saying don't automatically equate them with whatever your right-wing movement is, because I don't think it's actually a good look for you, because they're not even.
Well, but